fate. Life is your fate. I can dig it. I'm smoking random skunk right now, but I need me a bong. I'm smoking on, it's called guava jelly. Guava jelly. It's pretty good, actually. What are you smoking? Yeah, I'm smoking guava jelly. From Wave from Wave, and it's a 25% THC. It's pretty smooth. It has a very nice the terps are very nice. I'm not sure what the actual, kind of woodsy, not too fruity, pause, but it's a pretty good, actually very good. Enjoying it. We're gonna be interviewing today. We're gonna be interviewing Almighty. I had a question last week as well. Let me see if I can find that one that I posed. About what would you do? There it is. Would you believe God if God told you that you were God? Peace, peace. Peace, peace. That was the one we asked last week. Would you believe you were God if God told you that you were God? And we got another poll question this week as well. I gotta bear with me because this is I'm doing a whole lot of graphics. I'm trying a whole lot of graphics and different things. What you smoking on? Life, your fate, or your fault? What's your thoughts on that? What do you think? I'm on guava jelly. Like I said, this is guava jelly. It's 25% THC. All right, and I was gonna try to do some little crazy little graphics. But anyway, let me get started. Okay. All right. So last week, when we started, I talked about an epiphany that I had at the age of 17, and you can check the last week's IGTV if you want to see it or refer to it. But I had an epiphany at the age of 17 where God revealed itself to me, and what God showed me was that God was everything. God was everything big and everything small, from the smallest cell to the greatest supernova and star and everything else in the universe and everything behind the universe. So from 17 to 19, I was searching, couldn't find anything. And then, sorry about that. And then at 19, I put God off. I came back and asked God. Well, I didn't ask God, actually. I put God off, and then I told God at 19, I can't find what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna wait. So as I waited, I just lived my life from 19 to 31, as everybody else does. You know, I'm drinking, I'm partying, I did a whole lot of things. I had a child, and then at 31, about 31, started having a bunch of small problems that seemed big that I couldn't figure out why. And I was having all type of different issues going on, just small things, like I said, that were big. And I had my I was just stressed, and I was like, I mean, it was a lot going on, and I asked God for some clarity. And I don't know, about 2 weeks after that, a friend of mine told me that they had a free trip for me to go to Costa Rica. And I thought that was a great idea. So I'm looking for these pictures. My pictures aren't coming up in my timeline the way I needed them, so I had pictures for everything. But anyway, I digress. I went to Costa Rica, and I was in Costa Rica, and I was at an all-inclusive place. We were drinking, we were partying, we were eating, we were just having a great time. And the last day that I was there, which was about 16 years ago, August 4th, 2004, I had an epiphany. I was eating my food the same way that I normally do. And I don't remember what I got, eggs and maybe some turkey bacon, a few things. And as I'm going around the food table with my food, I heard a voice that said, Pura Vida. Now, if you ever been to Costa Rica, their saying is Pura Vida. It means pure life. But I heard this voice saying Pura Vida, pure life. And it kept resonating, pure life, pure life, pure life, and I kept hearing it. And then I heard, put down your plate and purify your life. You're gonna have to change everything you've been doing and purify your life. And I'm listening like, okay, what does that mean? And I was told to just put everything down and purify my life and change everything that I was doing. I had to stop fornicating. I had to stop drinking. And I had to stop eating meat. All three of those things were told to me by a higher power. And I was flabbergasted because I thought that, I was like, wow, what does this mean? I was afraid because I didn't know, but I knew that I heard something that was bigger than me. And I knew that I had to change. So I was 100% sure that I was going to stop eating meat, stop fornicating, and stop drinking. And I did that August 4th, 2004, 16 years ago, almost to the day, this week. Ironically, yesterday I was riding my bicycle, and I was actually thinking about what I was going to talk about today. And a guy came by with a bike and a T-shirt that said Pura Vida, Costa Rica. And I was like, wow, that's, a sign. But anyway, I knew then when I heard this, it was overwhelming to me. And I started to cry. I had a picture. I really don't know why I can't see all my pictures right now on my timeline and my camera roll, but I had a picture of myself when this happened. That day, I was probably about 260 pounds at the time, 250, 260, and I came back a new person, a different person. I came back with a different purpose in my life, and my different purpose was that I had a purified life, and I was just jubilant because I found out that God was real. I don't know. It wasn't as though God wasn't real before, but it was that God was telling me that I had changes to make myself better, because I wasn't doing everything that I should. I didn't think fornicating was wrong growing up. Everybody was doing it, you know. A lot of people started teenagers, and then you go into your adulthood, and then you get into relationships, and you shack up for people, which is what I was doing. You do all these different things, and you don't think anything is wrong with it because everybody's doing it. And there's nothing wrong with it. I can't say I was doing anything wrong. I was living my life. But I had to stop that in its tracks. And once I stopped that was one thing. It was three things. Like I said, stop drinking, stop fornicating, and stop eating meat. I had to purify my life, pura vida. But fornicating in general, and just having the mindset that I'm not going to have sex until I get married, it's tough. It's hard, pun intended. But it's worth it. And then I had to stop eating meat. Oh, whoa. I just saw this as I said that. I had to stop eating meat. And that just came up. I'm glad I do have some things in my timeline. Meat is what we eat that comes from apples and nuts. Flesh is what you eat from dead animals, which decompose in your guts. So I stopped fornicating and I stopped eating meat. And I stopped drinking. Now drinking, I'm not here to judge. I drank with the best of them. I was a great drinker. I had many a drink, many a night, many a happy hour, I never passed out. I used to not get hangovers for a long time. I started drinking when I was 17 in high school. A friend of mine asked me to take a drink. Everybody was drinking already, like by the time I got into 12th grade. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. But one day, peer pressure, I guess. All my friends were drinking, and we were leaving. We were hooking school and going down Haynes Point. And they had some Cisco. Cisco, that was the first thing I drank. And I went buck wild, let me tell you. I mean, Cisco is not a drink to play with, but I drank that. That was the first drink I had. I was 17. And from 17 up until 31, I drank. I drank like anybody else do. Anybody else that does that, because that's the life we grew up in. We grow up in this life. Yeah, Cisco, the hard, not the new Cisco, either the old Cisco, the kind that was making people fight in parking lots. Oh, we did so many wild things. It's amazing that we lived through it. Just so many times. Anyway. So that was I did all of that. And sorry about that. Fornicating as well. I did that. I was good at it. I did it with the best of them, I guess. I wasn't the greatest, but I did my fair share. You know what I mean? I had my fair share of escapades. And then it came to the point where, like I said, all of these things changed. My life had to change. My whole entire existence had to change. And it wasn't something that I chose. It wasn't something that, like, I said, okay, I'm gonna be a vegan because that's the healthy thing to do. I'm going to stop drinking because that's the healthy thing to do. I'm going to stop fornicating. That's what I need to do. All of this came at one time. All of it came that day when I had that epiphany, pura vida. And I did it. And I've been doing it since that day. I drank one time, and I didn't want to. We're celebrating my marriage, actually. I may have fornicated, but not a lot. I did once as well. And that was something that I had to, that wasn't my fault either. Somebody made me do it. But when I had that epiphany, it changed me. And I'm glad. Like I said, I was 260 pounds. I used to walk around. I don't even know what the word. I always been happy. I always been a good, happy, fun-loving dude. People know that I'm a funny, fun-loving dude. But after I had this epiphany, after this happened, my life continued to get better and better and better. And to the point where I really wasn't I wasn't sure if it could get any better. You know what I mean? It was like every day God was showing me something great, something magnificent, something outstanding. And I was enjoying it. And I still enjoy it. But this has been going on for 16 years. I've been at a peace that I can't really describe, but I'm trying to show. That's what this book is about. I got the messed up copy. But that's what this book is about. I had this epiphany, and my life changed. And so I started to do a bunch of things different. I started to exercise more. I started to eat. Like I said, I became a vegan. Pura vida. I had to purify my life. And I stopped drinking. And then after I got back, like I said, I was having these daily manifestations. They weren't epiphanies, but every day I was in contact with God, and God would show me something magnificent. And when I got back, I had one, and I can't find my scripture here, but I had Genesis. I got back and I started to read the Bible. Now, growing up, I didn't read the Bible because I don't know if I didn't read it, but as I grew up in a Muslim Christian household, I was able to find my own way. And as I grew up and became a teenager, Christianity was one of the furthest things that we didn't want to deal with, because from what we saw, it was it seemed like a submissive religion, especially for black people. So I didn't particularly take the Bible, I guess, serious. I mean, I took it as a word of God, but I thought that the religion of Christianity had bastardized it. And I didn't know that, but that's, I guess, what I felt. So I couldn't really respect Christianity or respect the Bible. But after I had this epiphany, I was shown things in the Bible on a daily basis that were it was like they were happening in my life at the same time. And the first thing I did when I got back, I opened up the Bible, and I would just open it up. I wouldn't try to like go to any certain verse or anything. I would just open it, and I would just open it wherever my finger landed. I would open it, and once I got back from Costa Rica and having this epiphany, I had opened the Bible, and the first thing I saw was Genesis 1:29 and 30. And it says, "Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it, that will be yours for food." Now, this was after I was told to purify my life. I was told to read this. Somehow, I was directed to this verse. It was the first one I read when I got back. The first verse that I read in the Bible once I changed. That will be yours for food. I give every green plant for food. And it was so. And so I knew at that point, and I cried actually when I had the first one. And I cried when I saw that, because it was just overwhelming that God told me to purify my life and stop putting flesh into my system. And the first verse I read when I got back and started to take the Bible seriously was that in the beginning, God said, let all the fruit of the earth and all the vegetables and all of everything be your food. I don't know why that's funny. But that's what happened. And that's what I did. I'm still looking for this thing again. There it is. Okay. Let that be your meat. It says that in the Bible. It says that in the beginning. And before everything changed, I guess, that's how we live. And so I was on a path that was mine, and it was my own, and I was happy about it. I was great about it. It was a good idea. It didn't seem hurtful to me to not eat meat anymore. Didn't seem hurtful to me to not drink anymore. Didn't seem hurtful to me to not fornicate anymore. All those things seemed like, what should be happening. And I did it. And it was difficult in the beginning. But once you, they say you do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And once you do these things that become a habit, you start to see things different. So after that, I started to see things different. After I purified my life, I would see things different. I would get different messages and manifestations and different prophecies and revelations. I started to write. I started to draw. I started doing poetry. I could never rap. I never wanted to rap. I learned how to rap, but it was this new idea that through God I can do anything. Being God, with God, I can do anything. And so it was. And so it was so. So that's what happened. And that's where I am now. So after that, I started to do these pictures. I was drawing these pictures that were abstract at first. And then I started to try to clear them up. When they were abstract, I could kind of see what they were, but a lot of people couldn't see what they were. So I was drawing these abstract pictures, sketches, doodles, all these different things that I didn't do before. And then I started to try and, like I said, explain them. And that's how I started with the beginning of this book. I would journal. I would just kind of write what the picture was or what it meant to me. And then that would come to words. And then later on, so every day I would journal, and I would finish a new day and a new page. And it was this time that I was in spirit, and every morning I would write. I would journal, and it wasn't called that then. It was just a journal at the time. But it was a journal about a spiritual journey that I was a part of. And that's how, like I said, that's how this came about. So last week we started with day one. This is a bad copy, but I'm gonna put it out here anyway. Last week we started with day one of 420 God's Bible. And as I told you before, it's a 111-day journal, spiritual journal, for people who are looking to be in tune with the spirit. And after you finish, so there's the concept is a page a day, a J a day. You smoke, you read, and you write what the spirit says to you. At the end, I'm going to compile everybody's writings and make a volume 2. So that's the plan. So like I said, last week we started with day one, and you can check last week's IGTV and see what that was about. Today, we're going to go to day 2. Day 2, J2. And I'm going to speak on this for a while. Okay. Day 2. Life has grooves. Love is the force. Love has all. Balanced love. Constant. Emotions don't rule. Overstanding sacrifice. The greatest great test. Grade A+. And then it's 10:24:07. Crash, bam, what a 24. John 10:24:34. So I'm gonna break that whole thing down. Love has grooves. Life has grooves. Love is the force. Love has all. Life has grooves, rhythms, ups and downs. There's going to be a whole lot of different things that we go through in our life that are going to take us from pillar to post, from heaven to hell, up and down Jacob's ladder. We're going to be tested in life every day. There's going to be something that might take your life a whole nother way. I started with fate or fault. Might not be your fault that your fate takes you here, but it's yours now. Now, how do you balance that? Because you're alive. That's the love, right? The love is being alive. The love is being alive. You having a chance to feel God's love every day. Even if you didn't, even if you missed the people who ain't there with you, you still here. And they actually still here too, because you can still talk to them and they can still talk to you. So everybody's still living through each other and with each other. Through all of it, through all the ups and downs, through all the grooves. Love is the force. Love has all. We keep that love center, keep that God's love center. We keep that and we good. Balanced love, constant. Emotions don't rule. I had a very, very trying week this week. And I'm not going to get too personal, but it was trying. And it took me a lot of different places, especially towards the end of the week. And yesterday, as I prepared for today, I read this, and it's about constant emotions. I can't even believe that that's in here. Sorry, that's a typo. That should say emotions. Emotions don't rule. Emotions don't rule. Now, I had been, and I talked to a few people. I had to go to different people to talk to about counsel, because I was just going through a lot this week. And a lot of people told me that I overreacted and I was getting too hyped. And when I read this again, it just brought everything into perspective about just keep love at the center of everything, and everything will work out. Sometimes in life, you might think that your life is tougher than somebody else's because you are the one that got to do it. You got to cross the bear. You got to walk with that thing on your back. But that's overstanding the sacrifice, the greatest test. Grade A+. Give yourself an A if that's what you had to do in your life. If you had to overcome sacrifice, overstand sacrifice, and give yourself an A for persevering. Give yourself an A+ for being here today, because I know that everybody been through something. All of us. And all of us are still standing, so we all here. So we all should give ourselves an A+ for making it to here. And then, if you don't give yourself an A+, keep working on it, you'll have one. Now, that thing where it says John 10:24-34. On 10:24-34, I'm sorry, 10/24/07, crash, bam, what a 24. I got into a car accident, and it wasn't my fault. Let me just say that. It was my fate. I had I was in it was a, I was in a, I had gotten into an argument with someone, and we were driving, and I was driving this way, and somebody came in front of me and they hit me. Well, they ran in front of me and I couldn't stop, so I hit them. So they made a left turn while I was going straight. And I was living in Georgia at the time. I had a suspended license in DC. And so the police came, they got my license, and they told me that my license was suspended. And they told me that they were going to have to lock me up. And I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that I was getting locked up for an accident that wasn't my fault. And how this is going to affect me, because now I'm going to jail, you know, and it's never fun going to jail. I don't know if y'all been watching the news, but it's dangerous in police custody. So I really just, you know, it was a heck of a day, because it started out like 6 in the morning, and I got into this car accident, and I didn't get out of jail until like 4 a.m. And then I had to walk home from jail. I asked this guy in the jail how he was gonna get home. It was like 4 in the morning. They don't have like Metro and stuff. They got MARTA, but it's not like ours. And he said, pick him up and put him down. I was like, what that mean? He said, pick him up and put him down. And I said, oh damn, you mean I gotta walk? So I had to walk home. Crash, bam, what a 24. But what happened after that was God spoke to me and told me to go read 1 John 10:24 through 34. And so I read it. And as I read it, I'll show you what happened. So it says the Jews, this was Jesus he was on his way, it was before Passover, and he was on his way to go talk to people. And the Jews who were there gathered around him, saying, how long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly. Bear with me. Jesus answered them, I told you, and you do not believe the works that I do in my Father's name. They bear witness of me, but you do not believe because you are not of my sheep, as I said to you. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. I give them eternal life and they will never perish. Oh, that's not the right one, sorry. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all. None can snatch them out of my Father's hand. I and the Father are one. At this time, the Jews again picked up the stones to stone him. But Jesus responded, I have shown you many good works from my Father. For which of these do you stone me? Where is it? We are not stoning you for any good work, said the Jews, but for blasphemy, because you who are a man declare yourself to be God. Jesus replied, it is not written in your law, I have said you are gods? And what Jesus was referring to was the Old Testament, or the Torah, in Psalms 82:6, where God says, I have said you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. Love Asada, how are you? I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So, this manifestation that Jesus says to his sheep is that you are all children of the Most High. Oh, what's up, Isis? Isis, listen. I had a guest who was supposed to show up, and he hasn't shown up yet. So I want to know if it's okay to interview you. I know this is last minute and right on the fly, but um, if you have, if you can get yourself together real quick, let me know. Isaka, how are you? Um, but I haven't. He hasn't joined yet, and I'm still waiting on him. So I thought he'd be here by now. But if not, let me know. So um, Jesus, get back real quick. It is not written in your law. I've said that you are gods. All right, cool. And Jesus says, referring to the Torah, you are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. Now, that goes back to the first question I asked. What if God told you that you were God? Would you believe him? Would you believe God if God told you that you were God? Or would you question it? Because that's what just happened. God told Jesus that he was God. He was Son of God. And Jesus came back when he was accosted for doing his Father's work. He came back and said, all of you are like me. And I think that's what Jesus' message was. That's my interpretation of it, is that Jesus came to show people that they all had the power to be a child of God, because God promised that to everybody. And at the time when Jesus was here, when he was kicking over synagogues and speaking truth to power, the people who were in Jerusalem at the time, the Jews who were there at the time, didn't like it, and so they and not just them, but the Romans, everybody. Nobody wants to hear somebody saying stuff that powerful, and especially doing the things that he had done. That type of power is scary. Um, so, but it was written that he knew that was what was going to happen. So that's what happened. But I think that what Jesus came here to show us is that all of you are children of the Most High. And through me, through what I'm showing you, through my works, through my actions, through my deeds, you too are the Son of God. That's what he told the ones who accosted him. That's what he's saying. That's what God is saying. So, are you going to question that? That's the question. Anybody? Bueller? Let's see. ISIS. Hope that was in 5 minutes. I tried to stretch it as long as I could. Um, what was the question again? I got kicked off. Okay. It's right there. Question. Would you believe you were God if God told you that you were God? And let me go back to the scripture that we were using. How do I get back to that? Give me a second. Okay. So, um, I went to John 10:34 when Jesus said, Doesn't it say in your scripture that you are gods? That ye are gods? Because he was being accosted, he was being arrested for blasphemy. And he said, I don't do blasphemy, I'm doing the works of my Father. Doesn't it say that ye are gods? And what he was referring to in the Torah was Psalms 82:6, where God says, I have said you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. So the question is, would you question it? Because it's saying it. That's what it's saying. Do you question it? Do you believe that you have the power to be a child of God and manifest in ways? There's a verse in Timothy. I think it's Timothy 14. I don't have it in front of me. I don't have my Bible in front of me right now. But I see you. I hear you. You can speak truth to power. I mean, in every single way. You can through God, anything is possible. Any and everything. And so what you have to learn to do is to ride those grooves, right? And stay with that love, because at the end of the day, what we getting back to is love. And if you keep that love and you keep that um keep it centered, keep love and what love is and what love means, and don't let your emotions take you off of your God square. When they were locking him up, he didn't he didn't uh he didn't go crazy. He didn't start screaming and yelling and kicking the door. He got away, but you know, he was good. Kept love centered. So that's where we are. I'm waiting on my guest again, and if I don't have a guest in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to end this one. But yeah. So what do you think? By the way, what are you smoking on, everybody? Let's go back to that one. Let's go back to the first question. Indica sativa. I'm on the guava jelly. Um, it's out of Okay, you ready? All right, let me get you now. Rob Mitch, you're gonna have to tune in later to catch what you missed. Please do, my brother.
Rob Mitch,
Thank you so
tune in later
much
to catch what you
for getting
missed.
yourself together in such a short
Please do,
time.
my brother.
I
I
just
really
woke up,
appreciate it. I
so
know. I heard
Rob
when
Mitch,
I
thank
asked
you
you
so much for
to
getting
join. I mean, when I first told you
yourself
about it.
together.
yeah.
Okay. So, have you been following today?
I have. It's been amazing hearing your journey. So,
Okay, bust it. So now, let me, and I hope that, like I said, this is on the fly interview. I was actually going to ask you to be a guest in about 2 weeks. I
uh-huh.
had a guest for today. See him, he never showed up. But so I was going to ask you in about 2 weeks to be a guest. So I might even have you back in 2 weeks for a little more, a better prepared interview. But ISIS, your name, what does that mean? Let's go back to the first question about God telling you was God, because you told me you was God 20 something years ago. Now, I'm sorry, not mean to cut you, and if I do cut you, don't be mad.
No, it's
ISIS, ISIS, what does that mean?
fine. Isis is actually Isis is the goddess of all gods. She's the mother god. God who created Isis, that Greek version of the name Osset. But my father was an Egyptologist, and I guess at his point in his journey, he had just kind of discovered Isis, and I think for him it was confirmation. He had uh, listened to a Bob Dylan song, and then that was called ISIS. And I think I was born around that time. But later on in his journey, he found out that ISIS's true name was Osset. So Isis is the manifestation and the embodiment of Osset in the Greek culture. So hence I was named after her. And it took me a long time to realize, well, I mean, I guess I was always born with that. My father instilled in me very early that I was God, you know, and that I was a goddess, and that I would grow into that, and that I would be able to handle that when I got older. So
How have you handled it?
well, you know, I guess it's just always been in the back of my mind, you know, but like you said, you know, the community, peer pressure and things like that, they just society, they don't want you to.
Hey,
That's
kitties. Hey, little gods.
that's the little
Peace.
guy. Ru actually is the son of Osset, and he is the god of the sun. So, and he
What's the
definitely
name again? Give me that again. I'm
Heru.
sorry. Heru. Okay.
Heru.
Okay. Heru.
So he's
I,
definitely the embodiment of Heru.
word is bond.
So, but you know, society does not want you to be God. Society does not want you to feel like you're gods. You know, because that's dangerous. So so through the years, it's always, you know, it's always being suppressed. Even I feel the whole ISIS movement, you know, with the
Oh man. Oh
terrorism.
man. Did that? Oh, how did that? Damn. You know what? You just said that, and when it happened, right?
Yeah,
I was like, man, they messing up all set, right? Like
yeah,
it's messing up everything because now she's tied to this mess that she has nothing to do with, right? And
yeah.
I didn't even think about you because we had been out of touch for so long, whatever. But I didn't think about you and what happened. So, what have you had like any backlash? Anybody like, hey, ISIS, or have you had any kind of anything from your
It
name?
it was very awkward for a long time. A lot of my Muslim